I'm a guy where I do a lot of things based on my own experiences, unique experiences. So like as an entrepreneur, I noticed in the first 6, 7 years of my business life, I counted the amount of CPAs that I had connected with and wanted to file my income taxes. And it was, in the first 6 years, it was at least four, maybe five CPAs, typically with their MBAs, and a couple of them had quite a few more credentials than that. But I started thinking about it, and I think a lot of people shop on price for accounting services. So, like myself included, when I first got started as a business owner, so I would say, "Oh, well, this person's charging me, $2,500 to do my taxes." The next person's like, "Well, I'll do it for $2,350," and then the next guy's like, or gal's like, "I'll do it for, 1,800, 1,900," and then you start going that way, and it's a real slippery slope because you don't really have an advisor, a trusted advisor in your life. You just have basically someone that you're going to replace every year.
A preparer, really. I mean, and two, how much is that price really costing you? Right. I mean, that's the thing that I think most people don't understand is the investment that they're making in their tax return could cost them tens of thousands of dollars. Oh, yeah. Well, somebody else can just get it done. They'll get it done the same way you do. There's no way. I've never seen like 3, 4 different accountants looking at the same tax return come up with the same answer. Right.
Well, let's talk about that one, JD. I mean, I'm very comfortable going on the record saying this is, I mean, that's really how our business really got started, is because I was playing hockey with a guy, and he had called me up and said, "Hey, why don't you come test drive these new Maseratis?" And I'm like, "I don't need a Maserati. Like, I'm fine with my 2003 moon car." So a moon car is defined by enough miles where you could go drive it to the moon and back. But I was like, it's paid off, no big deal. Like, but he's like, "No, come in and drive it." So I drove him. So I liked it. I'm like, "All right, I'll take this one." So I stepped up from a 2003 Acura TL to a 2015 Maserati Ghibli at that time. And I remember everything was good. I got approved for the car. And then I got a phone call and it said, "Hey, you have a tax lien against you." I'm like, "What?" And I'm like, "Wait a minute, how much is it for?" And here's what happened. I knew about it, but one of my accountants told me that I could become an LLC for legal purposes and an S corp for tax purposes. And when you become an S corp for tax purposes, you get rid of what's called self-employment earnings. So he was right on the money where he said, "Hey, you can't really go retroactive on this," which is absolutely true today. More and more clearer than ever, you cannot go backwards with an S corporation. With that being said, he attempted. So if you notice, my tax lien was for like $34,000. Well, if you take about $15,000, which is the maximum of SC tax a year, roughly, times 3 years, that's where about my accountant told me not to pay those taxes at that time. Now, he got 1 year approved, but the other 2 years never got approved. So I started getting letters in the mail from the IRS saying, "Hey, like, you owe us money." But isn't it interesting how sometimes people are given a lemon in life and some people just decide, "I give up. This is too hard. Like, I'm done." Or other people are like, "How can I turn that lemon into lemonade?" And that's what I did in my situation. So let me continue to explain what happened. So I learned that I had the tax lien. I didn't deny it. I had forgotten about it. Someone might say, "How do you forget about a tax lien?" Well, when you're in business, you have a lot of things coming at you. Well, first of all, I never was notified that I had a tax lien. I knew that I had tax debt. Okay, if I would have put on my balance sheet, I'd have been like, "Yeah, I probably have about $32,000 to $36,000 in tax debt."
Yeah, but you didn't know somebody had filed a lien on you.
No,
that happens to a lot of our clients. Like, they don't know.
right, which has made me and made us more attractive to work with versus a lot of accountants would be like maybe shame their clients for being there. I mean, how could I shame someone? I've been there with them there before. So